We didn't sign up for this shit.
Hey, Ben.
Who's Ben?
You're supposed to
Is that
say
your lover?
You're supposed to say, "Hey, Jerry."
Ice cream does sound good.
Ice cream does sound. Aren't you? Okay, guys. It was 90 degrees today. It was 90 degrees yesterday.
Yeah.
Minya is currently sitting here wearing a blanket, but still talking about ice cream.
Oh, what can I say? I love ice cream. Fuck, sue me. I can eat ice cream any day. But yeah, I am cold right now. The air conditioning tends to affect me. Like, I'll be hot outside and I'm like, oh, I need to go inside where it's cool. It'll be nice for a little bit, but then I get freezing cold. Not to mention, I haven't gotten much sleep. I'm tired, which makes me even more cold. So instead of judging me, you should help me.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's my bad.
Anyway, guys, wait.
What?
Sorry. Anyways, guys, my name is Minya.
Can I just go by Ben this episode?
No.
I'm Andrew. Some of you may know me by my pseudonym Porter.
And this is Hardly Adult. Sorry, that was bad, but
couldn't have just said it. We already sang it in the intro.
I know, but
damn.
I now had to sing it, even though it's terrible. That's the point, because we're not adults. We suck at singing. Just kidding. Apparently, you have to be an adult to be good at singing. So what are we talking about today? Well, before we get into what we're talking about today.
Okay.
What did we... Okay, guys, so I have to mention something right now. We are recording this again.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is the second time through, due to some technical errors on Minya's part.
What? That was all you, Mr. Tech Guy. But yeah, we have to re-record. And how did we start off the episode? That's what I was kind of trying to...
All right. So before we get into the episode, let's go ahead and kind of talk. Is there anything new since the last time that we've recorded?
Not really, dude. Not much. Just working, surviving. We did a hike recently.
We did do a hike.
Second hike of the season.
Yep, it was pretty fun. We went and saw a bridge that was very sway-y.
It was scary, actually. We almost didn't cross it because we were like, oh my god, what if it just falls apart and then we just die?
But what a way to go, right? At least you had a good view.
Yeah, but we didn't die. It was fun. Yeah, trying to be outdoors more. But yeah, nothing really new. It's been pretty chill. I mean, ish, like working. It's kind of like, it's work, home, work, and it's, yeah. Anyways, what about you?
Not too much. Just still working on classes for school, and that's about it. So, yeah.
Yeah, not much.
Yeah. Not too much new going on
in our lives.
But to get down to the bones of the episode, today we are going to be talking about life decisions and kind of the process that we take when we are trying to make a larger life decision. What life decision are we making?
Trying to figure out where we're moving next year.
So is that like down the street?
No, to a different state. So we want to figure out what state we're moving to. Right now we're stuck between, well, let's talk about the cities. Denver and Portland, obviously, those are different states than Utah, in different states than Utah. Colorado, Oregon, if you guys don't know. um, and then a random third state, well, sort of random, but Montana.
Specifically Billings, the largest city.
Um, but yeah, huge life decision. Like some people, I feel like there are people who have like moved around a lot in their lives, even as, kids and stuff, military families, moving from state to state. So maybe for them it's not that big of a deal. And there are people who just love to travel and continuously move. I am kind of one of those people. I love changing. I love change.
Kind of, she says. I have moved every year since I met her.
Yeah, we've moved every year in the past 3 years, I would say. We did live in these apartments that we're currently in before, like for 2 years, I think. So yeah, but we did end up moving like into
We
a
moved
two-bedroom.
units in this complex, so it still counts.
Does it though?
Did I have to get a moving truck and spend a day breaking my back moving couches up and downstairs?
That's true. It's actually not as easy as people might think, even moving units. Still gotta carry all your stuff. But yeah, this is a huge decision, like a whole new state, a whole new environment. Like there's a lot to take into considerations.
Yeah.
Into consideration. I can't talk today, guys. But we currently live in Salt Lake City. There's a lot of great things about Salt Lake City, and definitely there'll be difficult leaving some things behind.
Yeah, definitely. But it's part of life, and life may end up bringing us back. Who knows?
It's true. Very true. This has been our home for a while now.
Yeah. So why Denver or Portland primarily?
They're great cities. I mean, we visited both of them. There's a lot going on. The culture, the politics, the nature, just like everything that we like, honestly. Denver, there's a lot to do nature wise, like, going outdoors. It's very pretty. It also puts us in, close proximity to family, kind of in the center of everyone, right?
That's true. I have family in Oklahoma. Oklahoma. I'll have family in Missouri. That one is an intentional mispronunciation. I've got Texas family, Arizona family, Utah family, Idaho family.
You got a lot of family.
Technically, like, Nebraska family, I think, is where she lives. That one cousin.
Oh, okay. Nebraska. Yeah, so it's like great, like, center for all of the parts of our family. And then there's the Barbara Davis
Medical Center in Denver, which would be good for me as a diabetic.
They are like a top diabetes center.
Correct.
Nice. No, that's really cool, and like that is very like something important to take into consideration, having the proper doctors and stuff in place. So
yep,
definitely.
And then that's one of the kind of broad things for the episode is when you do make a big decision like moving, make sure you have the adequate medical team in place. And for a lot of people, that just means find a primary care doctor that's going to have you turn your head and cough once a year.
But
But
for other people
for
with chronic
for people
conditions.
like me who just have a whole buttload of illnesses, I have to make sure I have my diabetes doctor, my eye doctor, possibly a stomach doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So looking into that before moving to a different state is important because let's say you get to the state, you didn't do your research regarding the medical care, and then there's,
then you're
hardly
dead. Oh wait,
like anyone accepting new patients, or they are, but it's like not exactly what you need, and then you're kind of screwed. And guess what? You probably have to move again because especially when it comes to, chronic conditions, autoimmune disorders, that's stuff that you need in place forever. But yeah, Denver's great. The stuff that I kind of don't really like about Denver is it is dry like Utah,
yeah,
and I
it
don't.
is. Which I personally don't mind, but I know you do.
Yeah, I just have, since I was probably 18, I've been having like, allergy, breathing issues. I tended like every time I go to a more humid climate, I do a lot better there. But also my skin thrives, my hair thrives. I don't know, I just feel better. And then the elevation is kind of also a downside for me in Denver. I'm sure like after a while you get used to it, but when I do tend to go higher in elevation, I do get sort of sick.
If I could live at the top of a mountain, I would, personally. But
I mean, like, I feel like, I mean, I love going in the mountains. I mean, we go to Oktoberfest every year, but I do feel when I initially get up there for the first half hour, I do feel kind of shitty, but it's because everything drops for me, my blood pressure, everything. But as soon as I, eat some food, drink some water, I do feel a lot better. So that is something to get used to.
it's true. It's true. But
And that's it, guys. Just kidding.
yeah, that's the episode. Um, it is something to get used to, but I feel like it doesn't take a terribly long time to acclimate fully to altitude. Like when people are climbing Everest, they spend a few weeks acclimating, yeah. Um, but that's to be at 28,000 feet.
Yeah.
But
I would need that consistency for sure, though.
oh
Like,
yeah, but I mean, if we live up there, then
yeah.
who
Yeah.
knows?
No,
Who
it's,
knows?
I mean,
I
I could get used to it. Like the elevation, I could get used to the dryness. I don't know, you know? But it's,
w- we can just bathe in
just get all the
lotion.
humidifiers.
Yeah, there you go. So many humidifiers, we have to get a dehumidifier.
There you go. And then Portland. I absolutely love Portland.
A,
We've only been once, but I love it.
a place where we might actually need to get a dehumidifier.
I think it's amazing. I can breathe, and like I said, my skin and hair thrive in like more humid climates. And I feel like it's not too humid for me personally. I don't know. Bosnia is really humid. Mexico's really humid. Been to both of those places and Portland, and I honestly, for myself, I have to say Portland is feels the least humid. But yeah, Portland also has a lot of different food places. It's like a cultural hub, a lot of activities. You can walk everywhere. Like that's my favorite part, I think, is that you don't really need any
Yeah,
other mode of transportation aside from walking.
it,
Even in the winter, it doesn't really snow.
that's true. Portland is the most walkable city in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Counterpoint to Denver, though, it's
Mm-hmm.
more centrally located in the United States, so we would be able to get to a lot more places more quickly for vacations and whatnot.
Um, can you elaborate on that?
Well, so instead of being all the way west,
Or like closer?
we're
Yeah.
and then trying to get to Chicago, we're already in Denver trying to get to Chicago, for example.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Anytime can save some time, when you're all the way on the West Coast, it's pretty far. Um, But yeah, um, Denver, Portland. Portland, yeah, it's very underwater.
Yeah,
Is
so
one of the,
we've made a pros and cons list for each
which is what you want
city,
to do.
which is another thing that you want to do is make a pros and cons list of each of these places, and even the same place that you're at, which we also have, and actually currently has the most pros on it. If you count laziness.
Yeah, in a way though, we could group our home, family, and friends in one.
Whatever. Those are different things.
And laziness.
Yeah. That way I don't have to move this couch later.
I love you.
Um
But yeah.
So yes, the underwater one for Portland, because at the current rate of scientific, realistic global warming, uh, Portland, I believe, is only like 50 feet or 35 feet above sea level. So there's a very good chance that between that and the fact that it's right next to a major river, it could very well be underwater in, the next 30 or 40 years.
I mean, that's plenty of time.
I need time to move there, get comfortable, settle in, get a house, and then be able to raise kids there without them having to swim to school.
Yes, we have like 20 good years.
Oh my goodness.
But swimming to school sounds kind of fun for kids, right? But yeah, that is definitely a reality being by the coast. It could be slightly underwater, but that could be a while from now.
Another point.
Uh-huh.
The Nuggets are better than
Blazers?
Is it the Blazers?
Yeah, are they even a team still?
Holy crap. Well,
I know it was Portland Blazers. I don't know if they're a team still though.
Let's see. Portland Trail Blazers. I was like, I don't think Blazers sounds correct, but Trail Blazers.
Yeah.
But yeah, see?
Yep.
We knew who the Nuggets were.
Okay. I knew who the Portland Blazers were.
But they're not the Blazers.
That's the shortened way. I even saw somewhere. Oh, colloquially known as the Blazers.
Right, but we were saying the Portland Blazers, which would not be correct. Just the Blazers would be correct. Damn.
But yeah, okay,
Anywho.
the Nuggets are more known. Another thing about Portland that is kind of sad is a higher cost of living. It has higher cost of living than Salt Lake and Denver. So that part kind of sucks because in a role that I'm in now, where I'm making $40,000, I have to be making $45,000 in that same role in Portland. So yeah, that is unfortunate.
Well, that's okay because I'll be making a lot of money, and then hashtag pay porter will come to fruition, and I'll get paid to moderate the stream that I moderate.
Okay.
Streams.
There you go.
Hashtag pay porter.
I love you. But yeah, I mean, I feel like if you live somewhere where you you just love it there, kind of sacrificing certain things, yeah, things may cost more, but you could save more, you can, buy cheaper things, kind of like that, and then you're living somewhere where you love to be. So in the end, I mean, it is still a huge con, but I think we can make a little more money and we can live there with the money we do make currently. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, Portland is so awesome. And then you're close to the coast, which is nice in the summer. I mean, even not in the summer. But yeah. I love you, Portland. And then Billings, Montana. I actually thought of Montana just recently.
Yes, she did. The last time we were recording this episode is when she brought it up, and we decided on Billings because it's the largest city. And although I've gotten her better over the years, Minya is still very much a city girl.
Yeah, I would say mid-city girl. Yeah,
But
that's what
not
I'd
true
say.
suburbs either.
Yeah, not true
The
suburbs.
transitional zones.
Right. Exactly. It's that like center. You know what I mean? Like kind of like where we live compared to like, oh, there's downtown, but then there's suburbs like West Jordan, right? Um, but yeah, Billings, like it just, I mean, Montana came up because I'm like, oh, it's like very like a lot of nature and I can see it being very peaceful. And then when we're talking about Billings, 100,000, it was around 100,000 people. That's not too little. That's not a lot. I feel like that's a good amount of people. 100,000?
I mean, I would
Shoot.
cut that in half and live in like Spanish Fork, but
No. We will never live in Spanish Fork. But yeah, nature, mountains, yeah, I mean that's all included. We got all the nature. And guess what? It's close to Canada. There's a lot of what part of Canada is it under? Like what province?
Saskatchewan, I think.
Oh,
Let's see.
okay. Let's take a look here.
So according to good old Google Maps, it is
Uh-huh.
half of underneath Saskatchewan and then half underneath Alberta.
Ooh.
Oh,
Well,
and I guess actually the way that BC comes over, it does touch into BC, but from what I hear, that right there on the left, the panhandle of Idaho, there's a lot of like militias and
yeah.
whatnot there.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's like close to like certain, like parts of Canada that aren't necessarily the most attractive, but I'm sure we could get to certain areas. It wouldn't take too long as compared to going from like Portland or Denver, Utah. So, yeah.
That's true.
Oh, what were you gonna say?
I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like Montana is really known. Oh, Montana, but yeah, that isn't. I feel like isn't Yellowstone partly in Montana? It is, huh?
Kind of.
There's like a little bit of
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't realize my cousins lived so close to Yellowstone. But so Montana, lots of nature. Um, my high school English teacher, I think, still lives somewhere out there in Bozeman.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna track him down and go fly fishing with him.
Okay.
Um, but on the downside, it is a red state,
Yeah, that's
which
lame.
Utah already is, and Colorado I think is a swing state, or if they are mostly voting blue as a state, it's because of Denver, because all of the other counties are red for the most part.
That's true. Yeah. And I guess like the good thing about Montana, like yeah, it's a red state, but I mean,
If I don't
it's
see
hard
my
to get.
neighbors, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and it's hard to get more strict than Utah, if we're being completely honest.
Hey.
I mean, can't buy alcohol at the grocery store.
I mean, you can buy beer, just not
Yeah,
after 10.
just not liquor. But yeah, good point to bring up about Denver, Portland, and I mean, I think I don't think Oregon is a swing state, honestly.
No, because
No.
everybody just lives in Portland or Salem, and they both are blue
Yeah.
counties. So
Yeah, there's also some other cities in Portland too that are kind of in the vicinity.
yeah, but everybody like lives
it's
on
not
the
red.
coast, and everybody that is more conservative lives on the east side of
Yeah.
the state.
This is true. Also, bear invasion apparently in Montana. There's a bear invasion. Did not know that.
I didn't say an active bear invasion.
It's just
bear
like
invasion.
bears taking over Montana.
It's the most likely state for it to happen. Let's be honest.
Oh, that's scary to think about. But yeah, make those pros and cons lists, you guys. I mean, I'm an indecisive person. Um, and although I'll still be indecisive when we make this decision, it helps a huge ton because, hey, where do we have the most pros? You know, where do we have the most cons? Okay, well, maybe we don't want to go where there's most cons. But yeah, making that, like, getting your stuff in order, like saving up to move, making sure you have a place to rent before you go, hope possibly even a job. I mean, in order to get an apartment, you usually got to have a job. So these are all things to make in advance, and we're honestly starting to think about this stuff right now because we're planning on moving. I mean, it can change, you know, life happens, but we're planning on moving in March of next year. So that's, you know, about 9 months from now. It seems like a long time, but it goes by fast. These are, yeah, we gotta save. We gotta, you know, start putting things into place now, start looking for jobs, or even like get remote jobs so we can easily transfer over. It's not an easy decision.
It's not. It's not at all. So hopefully if you are making this decision with somebody, one of you guys is a organizer. We've got a spreadsheet going right now with a pros and cons tab and then a tab for our saving goals. And then another thing that we are going to be doing personally is getting rid of a lot of our stuff. When we move, we'll like keep our bed and our TV and my computer desk and electronic nerds set up and whatnot. But for the most part, we're just going to start fresh. A lot of our furniture we've had since we moved in together, basically.
Yeah. That'll make it a lot easier on us.
Yeah, so
figure out what we want to keep.
Yeah, and so even if you guys don't go that drastic with it, definitely think of things that you don't necessarily need anymore and either throw them on Facebook Marketplace or just donate them. Yeah. You know, worst case scenario with that, you help a person that needs it more than you do and you get a tax write-off.
Oh yeah, no, that is always a good option to go and make these, like if you're making a spreadsheet and different tabs, like make it customizable to you. Like we have the pros and cons, savings, items to keep, might be different for you and your lifestyle. So just find a way to keep it organized.
No, my way is the correct way.
Shush. I mean, these saving, like, you know, these are important things to think about. But yeah, we're excited for what's to come. We're scared, nervous, but we're also very excited. And, you know, we're learning as we go.
It's true.
Just like the barely adults we are. But yeah, anything else you'd like to say?
No, I think we did pretty good.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, you guys. Go follow us at
Hardly Adult Pod on Instagram. And then make sure give us a like on YouTube, leave us a review, comment, share with your friends and family, and
subscribe.
Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode.
Yep. Well, we love you guys, and thanks again for listening. Bye.
Bye.
We didn't sign up for this shit.